Microphone's hot.
Ready?
Yep.
The chair will call the February 17th, 2026 meeting of the City Council to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk Redpath, can you please call the roll?
Yes, ma'am. Alderman Cox.
Here.
Alderman Gregory.
Here.
Alderman Williams.
Here.
Alderman Rockford.
Here.
Alderwoman Purchase.
Here.
Alderwoman Netrano.
Here.
Alderman Carlson.
Here.
Alderwoman Conley.
Present.
Alderman Donlin.
Here.
Alderman Hanauer.
Here.
Mayor Busher.
Present.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Clerk. Civility pledge. In the interest of civility, I pledge to promote civility by listening, being respectful of others, acknowledging that we are all striving to support and improve our community, and understanding that we each may have different ideas for achieving that objective. This evening, we have no proclamations or presentations, but I would like to wish Alderman Gregory a happy birthday tomorrow.
Oh,
Happy birthday.
So, happy birthday, Alderman. I think Alderman Rockford needs to be educated on your real age. He just made you much older than you are.
I'm gonna be like someone won't mention it right now. But Mayor, I do want to say something. I appreciate you. 42, high. But Mayor, I do want to say something, and I'll say, you know, tomorrow I will celebrate my 42nd birthday, and you know, with the passing of the late Reverend Jackson Sr. You know, it just makes you think a little bit about life, and you know, it's Black History Month, and you know, in those studies, you know, Dr. King, Malcolm X, even Fred Hampton didn't even make it to see 40. Fred Hampton was 21 when he was murdered. Reverend King was 39 when he was murdered. Malcolm was 39 when he was murdered. So to see one of our leaders from the civil rights pass at 84, you know, being a young person trying to do this, man, and you know, it's a lot of responsibility, a lot of pressure. And you know, I just want to look at my colleague, and only him, I'm speaking to him, and I appreciate the conversation. And you know, I may have felt somewhat type of way 2 weeks ago, but I walked away from that conversation feeling different. And you know, I lean on all the people I study, all our elders that studied, and you know, our dear sister Maya Angelou spoke on the courage to see things differently, courage to approach things differently, and I lean on those lessons daily, and you know, hopefully, you know, I'll live to see my 42nd birthday. So with that said, I'm ready to continue on and keep doing the best I can for Ward 2 and my people. Thank you.
Happy birthday, Alderman.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you.
The next item on the agenda is docket number 2025-052 for the property located at 1901 and 1903 Elizabeth Street. The petitioners are Kennedy and Markham LLC. The present zoning classification is S2, Community Shopping and Office District, Section 155.031. The requested zoning relief is conditional permitted use pursuant to Sections 155.031C4, residences located on the first floor, and 155.182, multifamily residences in certain commercial districts, to allow 4 short-term micro-lodging rental units with residences located on the first floor, and a variance of Sections 155.320A and B, permitted accessory on-premises signs, to allow 1 ground sign located in the front yard and an additional ground sign in the courtyard area of the development, with said signs being within 40 to 50 feet of each other. 155.320C, permitted accessory on-premises signs, to allow signage within 50 feet of a residential district and Section 155.322C, illuminated signs to allow illuminated signage within 100 feet of a residential zoning lot. The Springfield-Sangamon County Regional Planning staff recommendation is approval of the conditional permitted use, provided that it is limited to no more than 4 units, and the proposed parking arrangement is approved by the city traffic engineer. Approval of the variances as submitted. Planning and zoning recommendation is accept the regional planning staff recommendation for approval. Note, the Springfield Planning and Zoning Commission determination related to the conditional permitted use request was a final approval at Planning and Zoning's Commission hearing. The council vote on this evening will be regarding the recommendations on the requested variance only. The chair will now entertain a motion.
Yeah, Mayor, I make it a motion to accept the.
Planning and zoning
Planning and
recommendation
zoning
for the variance?
Yes.
Okay.
Recommendations.
We have a motion and a second to accept the recommendation for the variance. Any discussion from the alders?
Who made the second?
Alderman Donlin. Sorry, I almost called you by your first name. My apologies. That being said, the voting will now be open. All those in favor of the motion will vote yes. All those opposed will vote no.
Jeff, you gonna vote?
I do, now I hit yes.
Good, 10-0, Mayor.
There we go.
All right, and the motion passes with 10 voting yes, none voting no. The next item on the agenda is docket number 2026-001 for the property located at 46 North Fox Mill Lane. The petitioners are Kirk and Laura Carls. The present zoning classification is R1, single-family residence district, section 155.016. The requested zoning relief is variance of section 3 setbacks of the Lakeland Use Plan in section 155.061 basic yard requirements to allow the addition as measured from the garage overhang to have a front yard setback of 24 feet as to the south property line. The Springfield-Sangamon County Regional Planning staff recommendation is approval. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommendation is accept the regional planning staff recommendation for approval. The chair will now entertain a motion.
Mayor, I make a motion to accept the recommendation of the Zoning and Planning Commission.
We have a motion and a second to accept the regional planning staff recommendation. Any discussion from the alders? Seeing none, the voting will now be open. All those in favor of the motion, please vote yes. All those opposed will vote no.
10-0.
And the motion passes with 10 voting yes, none voting no. The next item on the agenda is docket number 2026-002 for the property located at 1 Lucian Point. The petitioners are William and Susan Kitani. The present zoning classification is R1, single-family residence district, section 155.016. The requested zoning relief is variance of section 9 docks of Appendix A of the Land Use Plan for Lake Springfield and its marginal properties to allow the extension of the existing dock to a maximum of 43 feet from the shoreline from the point known as the normal full pool elevation. Springfield-Sangamon County Regional Planning staff recommendation is approval. Planning and Zoning Commission recommendation is accept the regional planning staff recommendation. The chair will now entertain a motion.
Mayor, I make a motion to accept the recommendation of the Zoning and Planning Commission.
We have a motion and a second to accept the Planning and Zoning Commission recommendation. Any discussion from the alders? Seeing none, the voting will now be open. All those in favor of the motion, please vote yes. All those opposed will vote no. The motion passes with 10 voting yes, none voting no. The next item on the agenda is docket number 2026-003 for the property located at 116 East Edward Street, AKA 601 South 2nd Street. The petitioners are Mark and Crystal Comine. The present zoning classification is R5B, General Residence and Office District, Section 155.021. The requested zoning relief is reclassification to S2, Community Shopping and Office District, Section 155.031, and a variance of Section 155.101B, required accessory off-street parking spaces, amusement facilities, gymnasiums to allow 0 off-street parking spaces. In the alternative, petitioners request consideration of a use variance to allow the use of the property as a martial arts studio gymnasium. Springfield-Sangamon County Regional Planning staff recommendation is denial of the requested S2 reclassification, approval of a use variance to allow a martial arts studio gymnasium, provided that 1, class sizes are limited to no more than 12 individuals, and 2, the hours of operation are limited to the evenings and weekends as referenced in the petition. Approval of the variance is requested. Planning and Zoning Commission recommendation for the City of Springfield is denial of requested S2 reclassification, but approval of a use variance to allow a martial arts studio gymnasium in the existing R5B district. Approval of the variance as requested. The chair will now entertain a motion.
Ooh, I'm about to follow your reading. Madam Mayor, I make a motion for approval of the Springfield Planning and Zoning Commission recommendation of denial of the requested S2 reclassification, approval of the use variance to allow a martial arts studio, gymnasium in the existing R5B district, and approval of the variance for the parking as requested.
We have a motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to accept the Springfield Planning and Zoning Commission recommendation. Is there any discussion from the alders? Seeing none, voting will now be open. All those in favor of the motion, please vote yes. All those opposed, please vote no. And the motion passes with 10 voting yes, none voting no. This now concludes the zoning portion of the meeting. The chair will now recognize Treasurer Redpath Fager for presentation of the financial report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The Treasurer's report for the corporate fund for the month of January. Beginning balance, $65,677,824. Total receipts, $12,500,600, excuse me, $89. We had total disbursements in the month of January, $16,157,130, which left the corporate ending balance in the month of January at $62,021,384. The ending general fund balance included $5,436,102, which was the January ending ARPA balance. That concludes my report. Thank you, Madam.
Motion to approve the treasurer's report?
So moved.
Second? All right, we have a motion from Alderman Cox and a second from Alderman Rockford to approve the treasurer's report. Any discussion from the alders? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The chair does recognize Director Metzger for any questions that the alders may have on the OBM contract report you received. Any questions? Seeing none, we will move forward. The chair will entertain a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes of the February 10th, 2026 regular city council meeting and approve the minutes.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The chair will entertain a motion to incorporate the pre-council first reading of ordinances into the record of this council meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. The chair will entertain a motion to incorporate the pre-council reading of the consent agenda into the record of this council meeting.
So moved, Mayor. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the consent agenda? Seeing none, all those in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The chair will now entertain a motion to place the consent agenda on final passage.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on final passage for the consent agenda? Seeing none, voting will, okay to have voting open? Okay, voting will now be open. All those in favor of the motion, please vote yes. All those opposed will vote no. And the motion passes with 10 voting yes, none voting no. There are no items currently remaining tabled or in the committee. Next item on the agenda is ordinance 2026-046, an ordinance authorizing execution of an annexation agreement between the city of Springfield, Illinois, and David and Kim Yakis and Donna Beeman for the property located at farmland at the new quadrant of I-55 Exit 90, Toronto Road, for the Office of Public Works. The chair will entertain a motion to recess the regular meeting and hold a public hearing for consideration of this annexation agreement.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion from the alders? Seeing none, all those in favor of going to the public hearing will say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The public hearing is now open. Is there anyone in the chambers that wishes to discuss this annexation agreement? Last call.
Motion to adjourn public meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn the public meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The chair will now entertain a motion to we did that, sorry. The chair will entertain a motion to place the agenda 2026-046 on final passage.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the annexation? Seeing none, voting will now be open. All those in favor of the motion will vote yes. All those opposed will vote no. And the motion passes with 10 voting yes, none voting no. The next item on the agenda is item 2026-047, an ordinance annexing certain described real estate located at farmland at the northwest quadrant of I-55 Exit 90, Toronto Road, for the Office of Public Works. Chair will now entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Passage, thank you.
Yes.
Motion and a second to put on final passage. Any discussion from the alders on this particular ordinance? Seeing none, The voting will now be open. All those in favor of the motion will vote yes. All those opposed will vote no. And the motion passes with 10 voting yes, none voting no. The next item on the agenda is item 2026-050, an ordinance approving the appointment of Becky Whitlow to the Lincoln Library Board of Trustees. The chair will entertain a motion to place item number 2026-050 on final passage.
So moved, Mayor.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion from the alders? She came when it was on first reading and introduced herself, so, yeah. Okay. The voting will now be open. All those in favor of the motion will vote yes. All those opposed will vote no. And the motion passes with 10 voting yes, none voting no. The next item on the agenda is item number 2026-055, the annual appropriation ordinance for the city of Springfield for the fiscal year beginning March 1st, 2026, and ending February 28th, 2027. The chair will entertain a motion to place agenda item number 2026-055 on final passage.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second, and there is an amendment the budget director has. Do you want to discuss that before we go to alders? Are you all okay with having the director explain the amendments to you? Sure. Okay, perfect. The floor will be yours. Do you want to, if your microphone doesn't work real well, we'll have you come down here. Sorry.
We want to go one by one, Mayor?
Yeah, I'll have her walk you through them. You want to approve them one by one?
Yeah, we have to, don't we have to approve them?
We can do it either way, but if we want to approve them one by one, just as she describes them, we can do
Okay.
that.
What's the council's
care, we can do
desire,
them all
one by one or all at once?
All
All at once, okay. We're going to let you describe all of them, and then we'll vote them. Vote.
Omnibus.
I don't think there's anything hard going on here, so.
Joanna, were you going to put them up on the screen?
I didn't know if you could read them.
I'm hoping to.
Better eyes than I got.
We'll see.
Oh, they may not be added on here, are they? I was gonna say.
Yes, sure.
That's okay.
That's okay.
So she'll describe them, and if you can get them up, that would be good, too. We'll just move forward.
Tech Amendment 1, it's for expenses incurred for ARPA projects in fiscal year '27. We did not include the ARPA budget in the original budget, so this will be putting that in. So it's the transfers from the corporate fund to the other funds and the recognition of ARPA revenue.
Any discussion or questions on the Tech Amendment 1?
And the other funds were,
Woman Conley?
Yeah, just real quickly, does this
Sure.
finish
yes,
allocating our, okay.
It will.
So this is
We'll
it. So
finish it all.
We'll meet the deadline and be good.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions on Tech Amendment 1?
Motion to adopt Tech Amendment number 1.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Tech Amendment number 1. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. We'll let you go to Tech
Okay.
Amendment 2.
Tech Amendment number 2 it's timing from grants. So the grant expenses that were estimated in the original budget were before we knew all of the revenue projections. So this is additional revenue that will be supplemental to the original budget.
Any questions on Tech Amendment number 2 from the council? Alderman Gregory.
Just real quick, thank you, Mayor. So on the original file, it says 24,280 in fund balance, and then over here on the amended value is 23,369.
Right, that's the use of the fund balance. So the use of the fund balance will decrease
Okay.
because this is revenue.
Thank you.
Any other questions
No,
on
ma'am.
Tech Amendment number 2? Okay. Motion?
Motion to adopt.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Tech Amendment number 2. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Okay, we'll let you go to.
This next one is Tech Amendment number 3, and it is for the Recompete grant, which was extended 6 months. It's $21,000, and it is for OPED.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion or questions on that from the alders? Seeing none, all those in favor of the tech amendment 3, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it.
Tech amendment number 4 is a change of $200,000. And that $200,000 was originally in the fiscal year 26 budget, but due to RFP delays, it needs to move into fiscal year 27. So the original filed was $510,000 for the Children's Safety Village in fiscal year 27. But after we move the 26 budget, which has not yet been incurred, we will need $710,000 for a total change of $200,000 to the budget. And that is in the Capital Improvement Fund, Fund 95.
So the fire chief is here. Is there any questions for the chief on this technical amendment for the Fire Safety Village? Alderman Cox.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have any questions for the fire chief necessarily, but this is money that's already been considered in the past, right?
Yes, it is.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else have discussion or questions on the Fire Safety Village?
Move to adopt.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for amendment number 4. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it.
This next one for tech amendment number 5. $10,000 was received by the library for the Carnegie Corporation, from the Carnegie Corporation in fiscal year 26. This will put the budget in for FY 27 to spend those funds.
And the money just came in like in the last, what,
Last
2
2
weeks?
weeks, yes.
Yeah.
It's all
so
timing
We didn't even know
related.
about it when we did the budget. Alderwoman Conley, you have a question.
Yeah, I just, what's the anticipated use for this money? Is this going to offset some of the other
Director
expenses?
Harrison, do you want to come speak to that? And maybe kind of give the context of why you got the money from Carnegie as well. We can give them a shout out while we're here.
So good evening. The Carnegie Corporation of New York, because of us celebrating America 250, they have awarded libraries, public libraries throughout the country, $10,000 because they are a legacy or a current Carnegie building library. So because we were a legacy library, we got $10,000. And we're going to promote and try to use the money towards America 250 activities. That's what we're trying to do. And we've been encouraged to do it. But it has come with no strings attached, which is,
Wonderful.
yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other discussion or questions for the director?
Thank you, Director.
Move to adopt.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt amendment 5. All those in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it.
Tech number 6 amendment is the DCEO International Grant number 26-33-2002, and it was awarded in February 2026, and this will add the appropriation to the FY 27 budget for Springfield Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Any discussion or questions from anyone? Okay.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt tech amendment number 6. All those in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it.
Tech amendment number 7 is for Cockrell Lane DCEO grant, adding that appropriation into the budget. And it is for $385,000 for Fund 95, and it's Public Works Department.
Any questions on that one?
Motion to adopt.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt tech amendment number 7. All those in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it.
Aldermatic amendment number 1 is, the sponsor is Alderwoman Conley, and it is for an additional $24,000 to the fire department budget for purchase of Knox boxes.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Thank you.
Alderwoman Conley, do you want to speak? Or you were just signed up, so I didn't know.
I just very briefly just want to say, I would appreciate support for this. I had actually 3 different residents reach out to me and say that these boxes have made a really big impact on their life, and they were watching the fire department's budget presentation and were really sorry to hear that other members in the community would not be able to access these boxes so easily without, incurring expenses of their own. So I would just ask for your consideration of this. I did not run this by the fire chief before I put it in, so apologies to that chief. But thank you, appreciate your consideration.
Any other discussion? Alderman Hanauer.
My only question is, I mean, if we can find a grant for this rather than, you know, I'm planning on supporting it, but if there's a way we can find grants to do this rather than take it out of corporate as we go through the year, I think that'd be
I
more
second that,
beneficial.
absolutely, that would be fabulous. If we find any grants and we can put this money back
Here comes
in.
the chief.
Here comes the chief.
Here comes the chief.
Good evening. In the past, yes, we did get some access to grants, and we were able to utilize that. They run about $300-400, so this would get us 60 to 80 of them. We could always build up a little surplus. I'm sure we'll go through them pretty quickly, and then continue to look for grants. We're always kind of poking around, see what money's out there. So
Thank you.
we won't stop looking for it, and build up a bigger pot of them, make them available. So.
Thank you very much,
Thank you,
Chief.
Chief.
Any other discussion on this amendment from the alders? We had a motion and a second. Seeing none, all those in favor of the amendment will say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. And that ends, as you see the budget director left, that ends our amendments.
Mayor, I make a motion, we adopt, we amend the budget,
Adopt the amended budget.
adopt the amendments that, into the budget. We have to, right, Greg, we gotta move with amendments in there, right?
Yes.
So I make a motion, we do that.
So we have a motion and a second to adopt the 8 amendments we just discussed. Is there any other further discussion? Alderman Gregory.
Not on the amendments, just on the overall budget.
Okay. Well, we were getting ready to take a vote, so go ahead.
All right. So,
Oh, wait, sorry. I hear what you're saying. Give me
Yes,
1
ma'am.
second if you don't
All right,
mind.
thank you.
So a voice vote on just accepting all the amendments, the motion to approve the amended budget. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Okay, Alderman Gregory, before we vote on the budget.
sure. So before we vote on the budget, I know that we are at a certain percentage, about 23%, at you know, funded at 90%. We got the adjustments of what it would look like at 100%. We know the adjustments of what it will look like for next year. So it's a little worried. I listened to my colleague Alderman Hanauer speak on the tight times and a tight budget. So I mean, these things that we added today are tiddlywinks. But for next year, if things doesn't change and we don't get a big, you know, revenue thing. I mean, I had all types of amendments that, trust me, I wanted to put in that wouldn't affect our general fund at all, but I want to have a conversation with the mayor and others before I do those things. So we'll do some of that in the next couple of months. But, you know, I really wanted to see how this budget would play out, what amendments were coming. You know, I heard Miss Ramona, I always say Miss Ramona, you know, on options, and none of those I like. I'm sure we don't like none of those options as well. So, you know, I would just ask my colleagues, are we thinking about the future and how we sustain our city services without cutting or without raising taxes? I mean, we got about $9.5 or $9 billion in new things that I'm sure every department deems necessary and needed. And we can do all of these things. We can get past this year. But what do we do for next year? What do we do for the year after that? When for sure, 2 new people will be sitting, you know, in those chairs there. Just my thoughts on it. It just, you know, makes me uneasy for the future. And that's my take on it. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Hanauer.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Yeah, and Alderman, I'm glad that maybe I'm rubbing off a little bit budget-wise on you, so that's great. You know, I too looked at doing a lot of cuts in the budget, but we got a lot of unknowns on revenues, and I think the biggest is what's going on out at Shields, and I think that what we need to do as a body, and I'm sure the administration's really going to be the one that does it, is they're going to look at the revenues coming in. And if the revenues aren't projected, you know, I hate to tell the directors, but the fire trucks, all these things, these nice things that we want to have may not happen. Well, they may not be able to happen. And, you know, buying a new truck might down the road could cost somebody a job. And so I want to alert the directors, they better watch what's going on, because in the past, when we've gotten through the budget, something's come up and it's been in the budget, I pretty much, you know, okay, we've gotten through the budget, we'll go for it. But that's not going to be the case this year. And so, you know, I've had conversations with the mayor about this, and I think she feels the same way. And so, you know, we just have to watch. We just, you know, this year is going to be important to watch and see where our revenues are and how our spending is. And, you know, a lot of the things that, look, I'd like to provide better service and new services and all that, but, you know, there's a consequence on all that. So I just want to, you know, throw that out there, that just because there's new trucks and new squad cars and all this, that they may not get filled. And I would also like to remind the police chief, if you could kind of cut back on the car wrecks, we'd appreciate that. So
He's back there.
you know, that helps us budget wise too. So anyway, thank you.
Yep. Any other, Alderman Donlin?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor, and I just want to thank the staff, you and your staff, for all your due diligence on not only preparing this budget, but for getting it to us in ample time for us to have, we could go through it frontwards and backwards and have the hearings and listen to what the public has to say. But, you know, one of the things that I would be remiss if I didn't say is, you know, in your tenure, you've had to deal with some curveballs, such as the grocery tax going away. That created a significant hole that we have to deal with, and millions of dollars of a hole in a budget. And it also, I don't want to say the word, but I will, derecho.
Cost us
you know,
millions
things
of
that
dollars
cost
as well.
millions of
Yes.
dollars, and things that impact the budgets. I would encourage you to continue your existing practices of not being as fast in the world at hiring, to evaluate the hires before you do, because let's face it, significant, over 90% of our budget at times, certain parts of our budget are personnel. And the longer we can, and the more we can streamline hiring, and the better. And I just appreciate your cognizant efforts in doing that in the past, and I'm comfortable that you'll continue that in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Any other discussion from the alders? Alderwoman Conley.
Oh, I think Alderman
Nope,
Gregory's.
no, you
okay.
first.
Okay,
It's my
thank you.
second. I'm
I
just gonna
just,
follow
actually,
up.
I just wanted to say, Mayor, I think this was a fairly conservative budget in a lot of ways. And I would just like to point out, as Alderman Donilon mentioned, the one issue I wanted to kind of highlight, the grocery tax going away. We're absorbing that, and we're one of the communities in this area that has chosen not to impose.
One of the few.
Yes.
Yes.
One of the very few that's chosen not to reimpose that tax as a local tax. And I think it's really important that, yes, we live within our means and we watch our spending, but we've been doing that. And I think, Mayor, you keep an eye on things, and I appreciate that. But I also really want to highlight, we've had some things that we've had to raise, obviously our water rates. But that's an investment in infrastructure that is absolutely critical to our residents. And we have that control. But where we've had some flexibility, especially with that grocery tax, I very much appreciate. No one's brought anything forward for that. And we're maintaining that, keeping the cost of living as we can a little bit more under control for our residents. So anyway, thank you for this budget, Mayor. I'm looking forward to voting for it.
I appreciate you saying it's conservative, because there are some directors in the room that got the word no thrown at them a lot from me for things they wanted. So at least they can hear you repeating that a little bit for me.
Hey, you get to say the no's. That's your fun job, not
That's the
mine.
word I had to say a lot, so thank you. Alderman Gregory.
No, I want to be, totally clear. I just want to gain understanding of thought processes from others that have been here longer than me on their thoughts on this particular budget. And I hear a lot of talk about the grocery tax, but that's a good thing for the people, as we spoke on. And, we've been through some times. We've been through COVID. That's probably the worst catastrophe that any of us seen that we've been up here. and we made it out. We've gotten some American Rescue Funds. We've done some things with that. We made sure that we got caught up on firehouses and fire trucks and everything. So we supported on what we were supposed to do. And the last thing that we got to continue to keep forward is investing in our people, making sure that the money that we spend get good rate of returns, and especially city money and things that we spend. So I just wanted to, fill that out. I didn't want to come with a bunch of amendments to cut things out and things of that nature. I just wanted to gather some opinions and thoughts. And I know everything in this budget that's over $50,000 has to come to us to vote on in the future. And we can adjust there. Mayor, I think I read somewhere where we'll get a report of where we're at probably midway down the line and stuff like that to make adjustments. So thank you for hearing me out. I appreciate you.
Yep. Seeing no other discussion, the voting will now be open to vote on the budget as amended. Those in favor of the budget will vote yes. Those opposed will vote no. And the motion passes with 7 voting yes and 3 voting no. The next item on the agenda is ordinance 2026-059, an ordinance establishing direct vendor payment options and no matching fund requirements for the Cannabis Business Grant Program and the Cannabis Housing Program, and expanding boundaries for the eligibility of both programs. The chair will entertain a motion to place agenda item number 2026-059 on final passage.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Before we go to discussion, I would like to propose one amendment, and the amendment is to Section 7, Part D.
So move.
It is about the IRS documents that must be filled out for a vendor. I'm just going to read how we need to word that. This program shall operate in compliance with federal and state taxation laws. As such, all payees will complete the city's vendor registration process, inclusive of an IRS W-9 form. Contractors and homeowners shall receive an IRS Form 1099-NEC or 1099-G when appropriate. At the city's direction, in an instance of direct contractor payments, homeowners may be established as the 1099 recipient, and the contractor may be added as a second payee on the check. All business owners will receive an IRS Form 1099-G, and payments to contractors will be added as a second payee on the check. This motion was brought forward to my attention from the Budget Office to be in compliance with GASB standards. So can I get a motion for that amendment?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. And again, it's just kind of technicalities to make it governmental accounting standards. All checked the boxes, so, okay. Thank you. All those in favor of the motion to amend, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Now, Alderman Gregory, you signed up to speak.
Yes, I would just, I just wanted to make sure that the boundaries were right. I know that we had a larger box, but on the GIS, it looked like it cut a little short on the south side of it.
The map on
Yes, as far as the
OPED
boundary.
site, or?
It was the GIS from Public Works.
That was recently attached.
Yeah, it looked like it was cut off a little bit on the south boundaries. So, yeah, it stopped at Ash.
If you want.
So,
Would you like the clerk to put the map on the screen?
Point of order,
I got it.
I think. My PDF handler isn't working, so I can't see like any,
I'm offering to put up on the screen.
okay, but like to see stuff. Like it just doesn't.
One second, Alderwoman.
yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah, we'll get it up for you, Alderman. That might make it easier. Okay, so there's the map.
Go south, yes, okay. Can I get close to the screen, Mayor?
Yes.
Sorry, we gotta do what we gotta do.
You need a laser pointer?
So, I don't know what this is.
the little section that says Milton Avenue way at the top?
That's on the other side of Grandview.
So they probably, the white portion probably cuts out what's not in the corporate city limits.
Yeah,
I would assume.
that's corporate limits.
Yeah, so the white portion might be city of, or village, sorry, of Grandview.
This south portion, what we were trying to do is get it to, it stops at Dirksen and Ash and
Okay.
Taylor.
I'll have to turn that into
Taylor to
ISD.
Cornell by southeast. And we would go, west.
Okay.
Just take it to.
So you want it to go further down from Taylor to Cornell, Alderman?
So I don't, make my Alderman Donlin mad and make it do this. Can we just square it off and go to, Dirksen to Stevenson, Stevenson to 11th, 11th to, Stanford, Stanford to 8th. Just write it down, Murdoch, I can adjust it. Stanford 8th.
Here, I'll write it down too. Will you go back again? Start from the beginning.
All right. I gotta close my eyes and do this.
Okay.
So, and I apologize because we've had conversations and we just couldn't get this right without looking at an actual map. So Ash, it stops right now at Ash and Dirksen. Just go from Ash and Dirksen to Ash and Stevenson. Stevenson to 11th, Stevenson west to 11th. Stop at 11th, 11th north to Stanford. Stop at Stanford, Stanford west to 8th. Stop at 8th, 8th north. To Cedar. Cedar west to 3rd Street tracks. 3rd Street tracks back to North Grand, and that'll complete the box.
I'm going to repeat this to you, Alderman, if that's okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I have Ash to Stevenson, Stevenson west to 11th, north to Stanford,
Yes, ma'am.
west to 8th,
Yes.
8th north to Cedar,
Yes.
Cedar west to 3rd Street tracks, 3rd Street tracks to North Grand.
Yes. Now.
Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And now, so when we think of that box, right, we'll be like, oh, that's a big box. But there is so many Woodside Township that along Stevenson, that they're not gonna be eligible, right? That's not in the city. In certain areas from that 3rd and Cedar area on over are all big houses and a lot of apartments. The housing thing, I will credit our economic development department. They do a very, very good job of making sure the housing, the worst of the worst houses that apply get those grants. Business-wise, it does open up some opportunities in those areas, but again, rather than cut it 1,000 times, I just thought a square-off box, and much of that is not even gonna be in that area.
So I repeated the boundaries of your motion, and do you mind if I add to the end of that, only properties eligible in the corporate city limits?
Yes, ma'am.
That way, if we've encompassed a
Absolutely.
little bit of Grandview or somewhere,
Yes.
they
Yes.
don't get to apply?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I have a motion from Alderman. Can I get a second?
Second.
So we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this amendment first?
Yes, yes. I just
Alderman Williams.
I don't have the map in front of me, but.
Here it is.
Not this one, but the Dirksen Parkway TIF, there may be some overlap, so would you just make sure we're not overlapping with that existing TIF on Dirksen, Corporate Council? As we find, I'm fine with the amendment and what we just did, but I'm also thinking of, I don't have the other map to see if we are overlapping.
Just a
Dirksen
touch.
Parkway TIF.
The old one, Roy, the old one overlaps just a touch because it goes from Clear Lake and
And I don't know if that's
Dirksen.
legal, and that's.
Oh,
why
it
I'm
is. It's legal. It's fine.
It is,
can
it
have
is,
two TIFs?
it is, this isn't a TIF, this is cannabis.
Sorry.
So
I'm
it can overlap. If you don't want it to overlap, then we would need to
I'm
add.
fine with it.
Okay.
I'm fine with it.
Okay. Any other discussion only on this second amendment with the boundaries? Seeing none, voice vote, all those did you get who got the second?
Yeah,
Okay.
we got it, but, go ahead.
Okay, so voice vote, all those in favor of the second amendment will say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Okay. Alderman Gregory, anything else you have?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Alderwoman Notriano.
Oh, I was just gonna ask about my computer. I'm fine.
Good? Okay. Alderman Williams.
That's old, I'm sorry, man.
Okay, that's all right. So any other discussion on the ordinance as amended? It has the two amendments. Seeing none, voting will now be open for the ordinance. All those in favor of the motion will vote yes. All those opposed will vote no. And the motion passes with 10 voting yes, none voting no. Did you need something, clerk?
I was just gonna say, once we get the new map, we'll distribute it back to them.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
we'll-
the clerk will get a new map distributed to you later.
We're going to amend the exhibits and then we'll get that circulated.
Hear that?
Thank you, clerk.
Yes, yes, thank you.
The next item on the agenda is item number 2026-093, an ordinance authorizing execution of an agreement and supplemental appropriation for grant number 26-332002 under the International Tourism and Convention Bureau Grant Program beginning July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026, in the amount not to exceed $150,000 for the Springfield Convention and Visitors Bureau for emergency passage.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? I believe Director Dahl is here if anyone has any questions on this. All right, seeing none, voting will now be open. All those in favor of the motion will vote yes. All those opposed will vote no.
Roy, got a vote.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a yes.
10-0,
Okay, and the motion passes with 11.
11.
Oh, Ralph, sorry, Mr. Doctor.
I hit yes,
Alderman
I'm sorry,
Hanauer.
Mayor.
You hit yes, okay.
This is acting goofy.
It's in the budget.
There you go.
And the motion passes with 11 voting yes, none voting no. The next item on the agenda is item number 2026-094, an ordinance authorizing the execution of contract number RFP PD 26-18 with Abate Co. Incorporated to excavate, process, and reconstruct berms to remove lead contamination at the Springfield Police Academy in an amount not to exceed $209,000 for the Springfield Police Department for emergency passage. The chair will now entertain a motion.
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this particular ordinance? I believe the chief called each of you to discuss this. Does anyone have any questions? Seeing none, the voting will now be open. All those in favor of the motion will vote yes. All those opposed will vote no.
10-0.
And the motion passes with 11 voting yes, none voting no. Is there any unfinished business to come before the council at this time? Alderwoman Purchase.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't know if some of my colleagues had heard over the weekend. We had an excellent weekend for downtown, but we had a few break-ins. We had a business meeting yesterday. We're asking for a little bit more patrol as we're starting to gain more foot traffic. And I know this weekend was a little different because it was Valentine's Day. Israel House is doing an amazing job canning with bringing the My Heart is in Downtown. We just had that there, and I'm praying that we don't have any vandalizing that would go on, but our neighbors are coming together and showing our video camera footage, and we're wanting to see too if we can utilize, I believe the police has a program where they can see from our cameras if something goes wrong, but just making everybody aware to look out for each other, and this
May
is
I
kind of.
speak to that?
Yes.
Okay. I know you were probably at the Capitol today because you were probably very busy.
Yeah.
We had the Downtown Alliance meeting this afternoon, and we had 3 police officers there that actually discussed this, what the downtown businesses, and then proactive ideas, and then where we're at with the investigation. So
Thank
we
you.
can give you a sidebar conversation if you'd like, because I know you were at the Capitol today.
Thank you, and just still making it aware for the public too, because there's a lot of people that, as you can see, I know I kind of watch social media a little bit, but people bringing that up, and it's like, it's that negative hitting us right when we're getting that positive turnaround, so.
We're going to work with DSI on that.
Thank
The
you.
communication piece, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Any other discussion? Okay, that's unfinished business. Any new business to come before the city council besides Alderman Gregory's or cake in the back?
No, I didn't have time to get.
Okay. We'll talk to Corporation Counsel Griffin about that. Alderwoman Notriano.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd just like to wish everybody happy Mardi Gras today. Enjoy your last few hours of letting the good times roll.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up.
Oh, is that it, Alderwoman? Alderman Cox.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple things. First of all, I was sworn in 1 year ago tomorrow.
Oh.
I didn't know it was your
On
birthday.
the
I don't remember
Alderman's
it being your
birthday.
birthday on the day I got sworn in,
Yeah,
but
I'll talk about it.
I was a little busy. I just want to say thank you to everybody in the horseshoe around the dais for all the support and the help. I've had conversations with everybody up here over the past year and learned a ton, and I appreciate the guidance and appreciate the arguments and the fights, but you know, I also appreciate the beer we have afterwards sometimes. So I want to say thank you for that. And then secondly, the Lake Council, so the Springfield Lake Clubs, there's a Lake Council, and they do a chili cook-off every year, and the finals will be on March 1st at the Prop Club. It's open to the public. It's $5 to get in. They have a judge's choice, a people's choice, and then a competitor's choice. But it's a great time. You know, we have members of the community from all of Springfield, all of Sangamon County that are members of these lake clubs, and it's a really good time. This year, the money, it's always for charity, and this year the money is going to the Springfield Zoological Society, which basically helps, it's the nonprofit arm of Henson Robinson. So they're trying to raise some money to fix some things from that horrible storm we had a few years ago. And then also some just basic beautification things, but it's a really great time. So I encourage everybody to come out and enjoy the lake, so.
Thank you, Alderman.
Thank you.
Any other new business? Seeing none, Clerk Redpath, we will go to citizens who have signed up in advance to address.
James Johnson.
Well, I want to start with sending my condolence to Reverend Jackson's family. And it's a major loss. To the Omega brothers, it's time for y'all to step up. And I want to say that Reverend Jackson has been here in Springfield. And for all you new people around this horseshoe, if you don't know the reason why, you should do your little study and find out. Because for some of y'all sitting around this horseshoe, it was people like him who opened that door. And the reason, I think it was 2003 that he was here, standing in front of that, your police department with some of the black officers. And that's all I'm going to say on that, and you can go from there. But I've been on Facebook, and I don't really like being on it, but I see a lot of city postings. Your police department is posting about our black officers. The fire department is posting about our black female department. And you guys know me, every month is Black History Month. But for some reason, they want to point out some stuff. So I'm going to be the guy that points out some stuff too, because I want our citizens in Springfield to know the truth about everything. Now, I watched 5 o'clock news tonight, and in my opinion, Jesse Jackson's story was not the first story. And I thought that was just a slap in the face that the news story that our local news put on TV was first, the stories that they showed. It was 15 minutes into the news. I think it's a disgrace, because this wasn't even part of my conversation tonight, but I want TV 20 to know that to ignore a passing like that and play it halfway through the news council is a disgrace. I'm sick of them. But I also think it's sad that, Mayor, under your police chief, that we lost 2 good young black officers, and it don't get talked about, and a lot of people don't know about it. But I know about it. But I also dislike that the fire department, we got 1 black female fire department, and guess who was fussing every month about that? Now, I would like to see us get more, but I ain't heard nobody say anything around this horseshoe. Now, I don't know what you say in behind closed doors, but it's stuff like that that you should ask yourself why we want to call them racist or use other words. Because it's a shame that we only have one black female on our fire department, when I know that there's some qualified candidates that could be on there that had missed out. Now, I can't forget about the state police, because I got a minute left, and I want the state police to know, like I've been saying, Mayor, we want to see those tapes. And to the state police, I don't know why you guys are taking so long to show that video of what really happened that day. But we're not going to forget it. Now, if it was a black man who was shooting a state officer, it'd be on the news every day, because it didn't happen. It didn't take 2 or 3 weeks to show that video, that man shooting at an officer. So why is it taking so long now? And that's the question. And for all you leaders around this horseshoe, y'all need to be asking the same thing. What's taking so long? Because it's starting to look a little funny when it takes this long. And get prepared for some disruption. I hate to say it, because I'm with you on what we need to do, but be prepared for some disruption. It's coming. And some deratios.
Mike Beckman. Mike Beckman. Ken Pasha.
I'd like to call everybody's attention to that one real quick. That one went just approval, right? Are we aware of the state of the Police Community Review Commission? Anybody? How many members are on there?
It was first reading.
No, I know. We didn't pass it. I'm saying we didn't. It just zoomed by, though, so I'm going to call attention to it is my point. I'd like all of you to take a moment with it. There's 4. With the director of Mark Bell. They've had 3 straight meetings without quorum. One on January 15th didn't even make it 5 minutes. It's a waste of everyone's time, and it's an embarrassment. The Police Community Review Commission has been a bad headline for not just this administration, but previous administrations. At what point does City Council or the mayor take it seriously? The last I heard of it publicly from this administration was our communications director informing the newspaper that they have no plans on seating those missing seats. That's in the paper. You can go look it up. Public statement. Does it sound like they're taking it seriously? Does it sound like it takes itself seriously? It's an absolute embarrassment that the joke of a commission that we established years ago to review cases isn't even capable of holding quorum. And why not? Because we're not appointing anybody. Sunshine resigned. That was the last time I went to one of those meetings, and it actually went through. And she did that out of courtesy. She'd already resigned. So, I mean, I would consider when we think about stuff like that, when we talk about what we're doing with the budget and that's a freebie. You don't have to pay anybody for that. You just appoint them. My application's been in for over 6 months, by the way. So, I mean, I'm just curious what the point of this ordinance is when the meetings don't even happen. Does that seem like a waste of time to you guys? Because we got an ordinance that got written that means nothing. You go to one of those meetings, show up with me. I don't know when. The next one hasn't been scheduled yet. Because there's no one. They didn't even have a meeting. How do you schedule the next one? That's just a joke to me. I laugh about stuff like that in my free time because it's absolutely absurd. I don't watch comedies anymore. I just think about things like that because I know what's going on there. Do you? Do you know why it's been administration after administration that's failed to make that have any value, any teeth, any authority, any meaning? I mean, come on. You can't tell me the police department doesn't need some level of oversight from an outside group. Do you want me to list off all the charges officers have had from our SPD in the last 10 years? If you recall, I did that last year. So I won't bore us all with it again. You can go look it up on YouTube. But it's getting to the point that if you guys don't take it seriously and you don't put oversight over the police, what are you waiting on? Do you want another Egan? Would you like the lieutenant in our SPD who came and testified at Egan's trial in his defense? Maybe we could have him come to the commission meeting. He could do some reviews. He seems to care about reforming deranged police officers that roll out with over 0.2%, like a BA that is just bonkers after hours of being fed water by SPD officers. And what they get, retraining? I mean, this county and this city has had a problem with policing for a very long time. I don't have to name the case that blew this city up that you guys got lucky they delivered a 20-year verdict on. Because I guarantee this city would have shut down if that hadn't happened. So I would think long and hard about what we could do with that review board to make it functional and meaningful, rather than an empty vessel that wastes the members of that commission's time. They all showed up, but they don't have enough for quorum if one person doesn't show up. If one of you doesn't show up, what happens? Keeps going, right? They don't even have enough people to make that happen. And that's a choice. So I would think about that, and I'm going to use my last 30 seconds to chastise you guys just a little bit more, and I apologize, but why have I not seen a Massey presentation, the Massey Commission presentation on the CTAs? With the 708 Mental Health Board vote coming up, why have there not been an invite? They have openly told me they would love to hear from you. Dr. Kelly on the Massey Commission, the people that have done the 708 work, they would love to come here and present their work to you guys and tell you why you should be out campaigning for it. Because the money that 708 is going to put together, the work they're going to put together is going to help a lot with the damage that downtown suffered from the unhoused that we've led.
Thank you, sir. Clerk, who's next?
Robert Frazier.
I don't know if everybody got the email that I sent out. If you didn't, I can pass them out to those that didn't get it.
They're going to get them and pass them out. Thank you.
What I just passed out was the
Stop his time for a minute.
We're going to restart your time, Mr. Fraser, after everybody gets
Oh,
them.
okay, I'm sorry, I didn't.
No, you're good.
I
I
would
just
just
wanted
make
you to
sure
know we're going
everybody got
to
it before I.
restart it once all the council members have your handout.
Ready?
Yeah. Good evening, Mayor and City Council. For several years, I've been here consistently, sharing updates, building relationships, and doing the work in the community every day. In 2025 alone, we served nearly 100,000 residents across the 10 wards, completed over 667,000 loads of laundry. That represents more than just clean clothes. It represents access, dignity, and trust. People come to us first for laundry, but what brings them to the door is safety and respect. Once people feel that, they start talking about job stress, family conflict, housing pressure, mental and physical health. Our staff listens. We actually de-escalate conflict. We encourage accountability. We connect people to work and support. We also help solve problems before they become crisis. Laundry is the engine. Relationship is the intervention. Stability is the outcome. Most of our emergency calls for our crisis intervention for our police department are not about violent crimes. They're about unmanaged stress, arguments, domestic disputes, mental health breakdowns, and family crises, and more. When people lack support, small problems become expensive ones. Our model proves that through our daily engagement, we build soft skills emotional regulation, and problem-solving capacity. We help people manage conflict, show up for work, and stay connected to family and community. From a cost perspective, our effective cost is worked out to be about $42 per person. That is far below the most comparable programs nationally. Using our conservative estimates, an annual investment can reasonably avoid $7 million in emergency response, crisis response by the police, and not to speak of our workforce instability costs. This is a low cost, low risk, high return. I didn't start this work to build an organization. I started because people in our city deserve dignity, because kids shouldn't be bullied over dirty clothes, because adults shouldn't lose their jobs over things they can't control, because poverty is not sustainable, and policing alone will not solve it. What works is connection. What works is trust. What works is empowering people before crisis happens. Today, I'm not asking for charity. I'm asking for partnership. Multi-year investment annually to stabilize what is already working, scale responsibility, and continue to strengthen our community. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions, I'll answer them.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. That's it.
That's it. Motion?
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. I can come talk to you, Polly. Happy birthday. Enjoy your day. I'll come talk to you.